Hello there, everyone. The Andrada here, and welcome back to episode 34 of our Project Architect 2 Let's Play series, where today, as you can see, we are encasing our Archimeat with the power of Ars Nouveau and getting our Archiveau. Let's get into it. What do you call an old snowman? Water, of course. Welcome back, my friends, to another wonderful day here in the world of the Andrada. Sorry, I'm trying to set my timer for this episode. Where today we are working on, well, taking out more chimeras. So we can work on getting our Archiveau taken care of. Can you just die? Thank you. Are you just gonna get deleted? Thank you. Appreciate it. Anyway, so I'm taking out some Wilden chimeras because we need some Wilden tributes, and we need to be able to, do things. I'm pretty sure this is fairly automatable. I think we should be able to automate this if we so chose to. I don't necessarily think that we need to. I don't plan on. I'm actually not. Why am I doing this? I'm not planning on actually automating the. What's that thing called? The imbuement chamber. It seems like it's too much work, and I really don't need most of the stuff that's going to come out of there. So I'm just going to manually make all of the things that need to be made from it. So I don't think I necessarily need to automate that, which means I don't necessarily need to automate this either for Wilden tributes, because honestly, there's no point, right? There's no need for it. I should set up a mob crusher, though, just to kill this guy, because he's getting on my nerves. Not that it's hard to kill him or anything like that, but, yeah. Anyway, so we got a few Wilden tributes. I'm going to come and we're going to kill a couple more, and that'll get us some of these, and then we can talk about everything else. Again, like I said, I'm going to work on crafting up all of these pieces manually. We can go ahead and we can make like the marks of mastery. We should be able to make if I put these into here, the mark of mastery should be able to, and I'll grab 10 of those just to get enough. So that portion of things should be easily doable. The advanced spell prism, we already have one of those, so that's taken care of. The fire infused turret can come over here. So then the only other major thing that we need is, it's just those turrets. So that's what I'm working on now. So we'll be back when that's all done. So we can work on getting our, we're working towards the transmutation interface, right? And we're skipping the Archiveau tier essentially. And then we're going to talk about some things that we're going to be working on in the next couple episodes. So let's get started. All right. And with this final imbuement craft, we should be able to now craft ourselves our Archiveau. Kind of a pain process to get through all this, but again, we shouldn't really ever need to. And we actually honestly have all of the focuses that we need. So technically, if we needed to again, we could set up 5 imbuement chambers that were dedicated to making these turrets, because the whole hardest part of the turrets was making the focuses that are needed. And then because that's an enchanting recipe. I mean, we could automate it. If we wanted to, we could, because the stuff is not used. So we don't need to worry about it anymore. However, we don't need it. And so I'm going to go ahead and clear off our to-do list and work on grabbing ourselves our Archiveau. So we need a mark of mastery, a containment jar, and our spell prism. So there's that. We need a containment jar, and we need a mastery. And with all of this, that should be all that we need for our Archiveau, other than the Archimeat, of course. But we can go ahead and let modular routers handle the movement of all that stuff really quick for us while we grab ourselves a nice Archimeat. And everything should be placed out. All we have to do is pop this into there, and away it goes. And we are now going to tier up to Archiveau. Nice. Okay, cool. And that ended up right into the system. Okay, so that is that. And that is fantastic. So if you didn't notice, first things first, in between episodes, we have 318 billion RF. I AFK'd by accident. I meant to AFK for like 5 hours just to let our stuff build up. I AFK'd, and really it was more because I wanted some of the red hearts so we could work on getting ourselves our bobbly containers. And yeah, I forgot. And basically, I AFK'd for about 24 hours. So we have 318 billion off of just that one Archimeat loop that we have going on, which is pretty dang good. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I'm happy with 318 billion EMC for now. I mean, obviously, we are going to be able to get much more over time, but for now, I'm okay with it. A couple of things that I want to do really quick before we get any farther in today's episode. I want to go ahead and work on making myself this soul amulet. I was doing a little bit of Discord reading and stuff, trying to find out. I know the Chaos Dragons fight is coming up. And from what I understand, the soul canister, the soul container can help with this, so that when the dragon does his laser beam, you die, but you won't die because this stores lives in it, or totems of undying, I believe. Not 100% sure how this thing works, but we're going to go ahead and check it out. I'm going to assume I'm going to need to know these, because I'm assuming those go into the soul heart amulet. But we're going to go ahead and grab ourselves another heart amulet, and then we have to combine these two together. And with that, we now have a soul amulet. And like I said, I'm going to assume... Oh, no, we just put... Now, does it put the... Jeez Louise. Do I take the regular heart containers? Is that a direct upgrade? So, like, if I take these out and I put those in here, does it now... Okay, so that gives me the hearts, so I don't necessarily need this amulet anymore. But we now have access to a purple heart. I don't know what the purple... Oh, there's a purple. Soul hearts. And so those are a smithing table recipe of any heart, a blue canister, and a totem of undying, and that gets you soul heart canisters. I'm going to assume the soul heart canisters are lives, so you can store 10 lives inside of this guy. I know we do need more blue heart containers. Can I make 5 of these? I can. So that'll max us out on our blues. Then we have greens after that. Can I max out green? Do I have enough? No, we're still missing 5,000 red hearts, so we're not going to be able to get to the greens yet. But blue is doable. And honestly, the purples should be as well. Let's do Bobbly. Not Bobble 4, Bobbly. So with this, we should be able to, AMC, AE has smithing table patterns available to it. So we can just do this. And it said that it can use any heart, right? I don't need to use a yellow heart. We can just use a red heart in this and get ourselves our soul heart canister. There we go. And then it's just a normal recipe. AE2 will handle the fact that it needs to be a smithing table recipe. So I can just say I want soul heart canisters and it'll do it. I want to wait until this is done because I don't want it to try and use those two. But that's that. Okay, so that's the soul amulet. There is also the soul stone from Cyclic, which we can also go ahead and craft. And this is concentrated essences of a totem of undying. And the beautiful thing with this is that it's enchantable. We can actually enchant it with unbreaking, and I think life mending on this is supposed to be pretty darn OP. So let's go ahead and retrieve enough levels for this and then enchant this. Wait, not you. Magnet 4, Unbreaking 5, and Life Mending 1. So now this is going to consume healing to repair this, and it's got Unbreaking. So now we have a Totem of Undying built into us, essentially. We have our 5 heart containers. We can go ahead and put those into there. That gets us our 10. And then our soul heart canisters. Can I make 5 of these? No, missing 30,000. Oh, apparently you need green ones? Oh, blues require green. Oh, we tiered straight up to blue when we could have went to green. Okay, we went out of order on that thing. Okay, so we're not going to be able to do that anytime soon. But now we have extra hearts available to us. That makes sense why the hearts, because I talked about it the other episode, how the hearts are green and not blue. And I'm like, well, but I'm putting blue in. It should be. I went out of order. Okay, well, we got the most expensive ones taken care of. Now we can get something slightly cheaper. Anyway, okay, so we have our Archiveau, and the Archiveau is used for, I mean, some things, but not anything too super duper crazy. An infused Archiveau is used for God-forged infusion, apparently. And and alchemical bag magenta. That's it. But outside of that, yeah, because that acts as the part of the core, like you put that underneath it. But for now, we don't necessarily need to do anything with this other than work on getting ourselves up to the Architron. Okay, and that's our major goal in these next couple episodes, is to get the Architron taken care of. Let's get out of here because it's loud and annoying. So the Architron itself is going to be not terribly too difficult. First things first, I don't know if I mentioned this. I did go ahead and upgrade to nitro tier reactors on both of these. I also swapped them out for blocks of coal and redstone because it's a little easier ultimately. It just lasts longer in there, so it's less that you have to have. And each of these is able to generate up to 1 million RF per tick. My biggest issue right now is my energy cube cannot handle. Its max output is 1,000, so we're generating basically 2 million, but I'm only able to handle 1,000. However, what we will work on when the time comes for us to switch over, I'm actually honestly just debating, do I even need a battery, or should I just put everything onto the... should I just skip this, right? You get what I'm saying? I skip and I just go straight to having these store the power into the output network. And it just puts it straight into output. That way it can store. Now, we're not going to have any battery power by doing that right now. Kind of. We will have some battery power because, remember, we do still have the other stuff over there. So I think that for now, I think that'll work because we're still going to have these. I'm not tearing that down for any time soon. I don't see a reason why. So we still have this generating power, but then this is just going to go straight to our system. So that'll help us with power when we get to having an upgrade. We're also going to need to work on upgrading power. We're going to want as much power as we can. So we're going to want the energizing rods and yeah, power. We're also going to want to go ahead and work on getting ourselves more of these reactors because we're going to want more power ultimately overall. I'm going to go ahead and request myself. Let's do 64 of these while we're waiting for everything to happen. And then that'll kick those off and let that craft take place. So anyway, so the Architron itself, a lot of this stuff we already have. Obviously, we already have the Archiveau, okay? Rainbow core is not going to be terribly too hard. Block on nitro crystal. Bigger reactors we're going to have to get into. A blazing rod is produced by the blazing agitator. We're going to have to figure that thing out. Blazing agitator. It's agitating me. Can agitate blazing rods so they're usable for the blazing agitator. I don't know what that means, but it doesn't seem like it's going to be too complicated. A flux accessor is going to be an energy processor. So, okay. So I just need printed energy circuits, which is, I'm going to need I'm going to need an inscriber for this. I don't want to automate this part though, because I don't see the need for having more than one of these things, right? Like, I don't know why I would need more than one. Okay, so flux accessor. We're going to need energy processors, which is going to require printed energy circuits, which is going to require an energy press, which is an inscriber. Oh, a charger with a block of iron. Okay, so we need a charger, iron, and power. So with these, we should be okay. So if we go ahead and place this here, we can go ahead and put this, this inside of there. We can go ahead and do this. You're going to be on the output network. Go ahead and charge this. Do it quickly. Quicker than that. Perfect. Okay, cool. So there we go. We have the energy Maduty. Now all we got to do is grab the inscriber itself, pop him here, and then we can go ahead and work on the rest of this. Oops, I just put that in there. There it is. Inscriber energy press. You can go inside of there. Okay, so you are going to make it out of charged redstone. Oh, okay, so apparently I need the charger back. Charged redstone. And another point. Honestly, I'll probably need another inscriber to do the other stuff. Okay, so that's a charged redstone. We're going to need a redstone crystal, which is this recipe. Perfect. We can handle that. So you are going to go here. Excuse me. You're going to go here to dissolution chamber. You're going to learn all of that. Good. You know it. We're going to go ahead and dissolution chamber recipe this guy. Sure. You can go right there. And then red crystal. We only need 2 of these. I should get the dissolution chamber upgraded too, right? Or did I already do that? I don't even know. And then you can charge those, and you can go faster with it. Oops, that was a mistake. Honestly, I don't even know if this thing can be tick accelerated. So then you're going to go there. And you're going to go in there. And that gets me my printed energy circuits. Sweet. Okay. And then from there, I can make the energy processor. So that I should be able to teach the system how to make, right? I should be able to do this now. I'm going to have to go pop over to, it's been so long since I set up this inscriber setup, I don't remember how it works. Because we haven't had to, can you go downstairs? Thank you. We haven't had to touch this in so long. So you are the final craftinator, right? Yeah, printed energy, redstone, dust, printed silicone. Okay, cool. So now I can go ahead and say I need the energy processors. And if I have asked for 2 of those, it should be able to just do it. Okay, cool. Sweet. And I could easily throw that other inscriber down here and do that whole thing, but I don't see the need, right? I don't plan on using applied energistics for flux. So there we go. We have a flux accessor, which can pull energy from a network and then push cables into machines. Honestly, it's pretty cool, to be honest. It means that you can have applied energistics move your energy around, so I don't need flux points. It can handle the energy push and pull. Maybe it's something we can look into. Honestly, it would be kind of cool because then we could just have one flux point. It just depends on how much power can it input and output, I guess, is going to be the question ultimately. But anyway, so flux accessor done. Blazing agitator. Let's go ahead and take care of this. And I'm going to assume I need blaze rods to agitate. And we can go ahead and get rid of this and this. And we can grab the blazing agitator. You're going to get power. You're going to get a blaze rod. And you're going to agitate it. Yeah. It's done already. It's easy as that. Does it need to be... Is it special or something? Time 0, 60, duration 20. It doesn't say that it's got to be anything fancy. So check. Done. Block of nitro crystal. Done. The rainbow core itself, that's going to be fairly easy to get done. All we have to do is teach the recipe for this. And then we just have to grab all the glass. Which, honestly, that part shouldn't be too hard because we can do this. And then EMC it. And then we'll have access to it for any other craft we ever need again in the future. And we're working towards getting our transmutation interface. So it'll be really nice. Magenta dye? Sure. Or magenta stained glass. Perfect. I guess I had some of that. So let's go ahead and learn it all just so that we have it. Okay. So that's learned. Now we can just go ahead and throw this in for the rainbow core, for the rainbow furnace. And I'm debating if I do actually want to upgrade to the rainbow furnace at some point versus our netherite furnaces. The rainbow furnace is kind of cool because it can smelt entire stacks at a time. So it's a little slower ultimately, but it does stacks. So yeah, advantages and disadvantages. I do want to work on switching. I should add nether stars to my list too. Now that we have nether stars, I want to work on switching that to a craft, not an automatic push, because it's going to start burning through all that soul sand to make new ones. And so I want to put a pattern provider and tell it to do the thing instead of having an exporter out there. Anyway, so that takes care of everything but the bigger reactors, the ludicrite block. Now, how do we make this? I'm not 100%. I do know we're going to have to get into bigger reactors, but we don't need it for power, so I don't plan on making anything too large. What is the smallest bigger reactor you can make? 3 by 3 cube? I'm not entirely sure. But I know for sure we're going to need a couple things from this. So we're going to need some reactor casings, absolutely. So we can go ahead and do that. We're going to need graphite ingots, which is going to be a smelt of coal, apparently. So we can go ahead and do that, and that's going to make graphite. We also need uranium, which we have. Good. We're going to want a terminal, right? That's the brains of the system. A terminal. We're going to need control rods so we can produce the stuff that we need. We're also going to need fuel rods. And then I don't know if we're going to need anything else. Now, there's the cyanite reprocessor we are going to need. And then is there anything else? We're going to need ports because we're going to have to get the power out of this or whatever ends up coming out of this. So we need a power tap. And then isn't there, access port, right? We're going to need an input and an output access port. Okay, so with these, and I'm just going to go ahead and put them here. There's only a few slots left at the bottom, and I don't feel like scrolling twice. So we'll just go ahead and throw these all up here. And now we should be able to get bigger reactors going. So next episode, I'm going to double check. I'm going to take a look and make sure that everything we need is good to go. But we'll go ahead and work on getting ourselves a bigger reactor set up. I don't need anything fancy, but we'll get it set up so we can at least produce this ludicrite. And then from there, we should be able to get the Architron, which is going to allow us to get the transmutation interface, which is going to be like ridiculously awesome. And we got that taken care of. I'll also work on making these energizing rods in between episodes to get our palace set up. So yeah, anyway, I know a little bit of maintenance-y episode and small stuff, but if you enjoyed, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe. I do appreciate it. It really does help out the channel. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for watching, and I will see you all in the next one. Have a good one.